Hey folks, how's it going? Optical mice have been popular for years now. Replacing mechanical mice didn't take much convincing, as they were picky about surfaces, prone to skipping when moving fast, and always had some lint clogged inside. The benefits of optical mice were apparent even from their early days. Less cleaning, more accuracy, and a longer lifetime with less moving parts. Even with keyboards going light speed as early as 1962, a full 18 years before optical mice would become a thing, we haven't seen optical or optomechanical keyboards gain anywhere near as much market share. In the last couple of years, there has been a small resurgence in their popularity. With gaming being all about split-second reactions, minimizing input latency is something that gamers take very seriously. And that little number you put on the box needs to be as little as possible for gamers to buy it. The Omen Sequencer is HP's first entry into the optomechanical keyboard market. The gaming-focused Omen Sequencer keyboard uses optical mechanical switches to enable an alleged 0.2 milliseconds key response time, 10 times faster than traditional mechanical blue switches. These switches utilize light beam detection instead of moving metal parts. But will that make any difference when, according to humanbenchmark.com, the average reaction time is about 284 milliseconds, giving us a potential advantage of well under 1%. HP says it's a keyboard built with your gaming needs in mind. The Omen Sequencer delivers on next level responsiveness, customization and durability. You need the best gear to win, and this tool will never let you down. But it might disappoint you, which some say is worse. When I first laid eyes on Omen by HP Sequencer, I was enamoured by its clean bezel-less design, accentuating the keycaps instead of covering them over for that internal glow look that gives the keycaps a more defined underglow visible from multiple angles. The only outcrop is for the integrated volume roller bar, which also has a handy mute button next to the HP by Omen branding, that you'll see on the entire Omen line. Obviously, you'll notice the spacebar. Love it or hate it, it's a big spacebar with a little enter key. Again, a personal preference, so you make your own decision on that one. The chassis is firm with very little flex or movement, and the roller bar glides smoothly. The volume roller is solid too, not rattling around or wiggling on its axle. The braided nylon cable is of high quality, and overall the keyboard looks great. To take advantage of the keyboard's customization, you will need to install Omen Command Center, HP's fledgling customization app for the Omen lineup. Some work needs to be done with the UI to help with intuitiveness, but once you get past that, it's fairly handy, allowing you to individually or using Shift collectively change keycaps, colours and or behaviours. Some things I'd like to see in the future are an easier way to select multiple keys and edit their colours and layout, the ability to set profiles to automatically switch to when certain apps are opened, and more customizable integration into game APIs for things like low health, ammo or ult status. As we mentioned earlier, the big selling point of Sequencer is its optical mechanical switches, designed to provide a faster switch response time with gaming in mind. The biggest complaint I've heard so far concerning all optomechanical switches is that when the internals of the switch are hollowed, nothing is put in its place to account for the loss in mass, which directly affects the tone of the switches. Basically, they become acoustic chambers, making the keyboard noticeably clackier than their full mechanical cousins. Unfortunately for HP, Sequencer suffers from the same problem, producing a hollow note that makes the keyboard and especially the spacebar sound cheap and flimsy when typing. Although it's not so much of an issue while gaming, a few teammates did notice it was louder than my usual Razer Black Widow blue switches. If the noise doesn't bother you, let's talk about the tactile feel. HP decided against using stabilizer bars in the spacebar, shift or backspace. This results in the keys rocking and tilting if you don't hit them right in the middle. For both gaming and typing, I found it annoying how sticky these keys are if you hit them near their edge. This really shouldn't be a problem on any keyboard above the €100 mark. It's possibly something that smooths out over time like fine leather, but keyboards, and especially gaming keyboards, should have consistency to the forefront of design, meaning there should be no break-in period. We're not talking about orthopedic shoes. So, should you go get yourself one today? Comparing it to standard mechanical keyboards, the only major benefit besides its looks are the optical sensors, bringing us to our question from earlier. If the unique selling point for optical switches isn't the switch response time, then what is? And why haven't optical mechanical switches become the standard? Well, there are likely a few reasons for this. Firstly, I think that advertisers discovered the term input latency and appreciated its value as a buzzword, a marketing shortcut they can throw around with impunity to make gamers think it's better because it's faster. Of course, there are other unique selling points for optomechanical keyboards, like the fact that they are more resistant to water damage, easier to clean, use less electronic components and plastics, and you can always swap out the mechanical switches for other types to allow customization of the feel while still maintaining the same response time. Or maybe it's the reduction in V-bands processing. All of which are useful features, but none are selling points in a market saturated with mechanical keyboards of similar performance. With a minimal amount of additional marketable benefits, why would manufacturers have any reason to invest in optical mechanical designs and manufacture? Membrane keyboards evolved as a way to lower costs as PCs grew in popularity. Since the early 2000s, the gaming community's need for more reliable, faster keys created a demand for mechanical keyboards, a demand which lives on to this very day. So, what good are optomechanical keyboards and who are they for? I think optomechanical keyboards could be for everyone. Their ability to have a consistent response time while changing switch allows for so much personalization and versatility. Which brings us perfectly back to HP Omen Sequencer, a really well designed keyboard with standout aesthetic features, a stylish volume roller, and all the keys you'd expect from a gaming keyboard, but is ultimately let down by the keycaps. Spacebar, Shift and Enter all need better stabilization, and the keycaps, while personally I like the feel of them, they create a hollow, loud click which annoyed many a teammate. HP will likely iterate on their design for Sequencer, and hopefully the next version will iron out the foibles, but if you can't wait to get your hands on an optical mechanical keyboard and really want to try out Sequencer, you can buy it direct from HP for $142.25 as of March 2019. Personally, I'd wait until it's closer to $100, but some might already think it's a great deal, considering there aren't too many options out there and the competition is definitely more expensive. So, whether or not you choose to take the dive into optical mechanical keyboards, make sure to dive down into the comment section below and tell us what you think of optical mechanical keyboards and if you think they're worth it or not. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget, hit like if you like keyboards, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. The more people watch it, the more obliged I'll feel to produce these a whole lot quicker, which is good for everyone, I think. Thanks, I'll see you next time. Enjoy!